Guys for joining us this Thursday. It is 6 p.m. on the dot. We're getting better and better at this, aren't we, Mr. Rush?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, because we was doing them a little late before, but now we're on the dot, so y'all can't blame it on us if you're not here. And if you are here, good. As a matter of fact, while we're at the beginning of this, hit the share button and all that good stuff right now so we can get more viewers on, so that way when we get to talking about the good stuff, then everybody's already on and they know where it's at. Mr. Rush, how are you doing, sir? How's your week been? See, I'm getting your name right even. That's how much we're getting better at this. How's your week been going, sir? Got the pool up, ready to jump in the pool. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I think after the show's done, I was thinking about doing that. I've got the filters running and the pumps and all that stuff going. I'm assuming we're on this one? Nope, that one. We're on that one. Threw me off for a second. I wasn't ready for that. He jumped up really quick. Yep, he handled that pretty fast. Anyway, yeah, no, I was thinking about jumping in the pool afterwards. You know, I'm not really sure. Still debating on it. Still debating. Anyway, we got a good show going for you guys this week. There have been a few things that were in the news for a little bit that I kind of want to bring up and talk about, and then there's a few things that were in the news for a very short time frame, it seemed like. Hopefully we'll hear more about them, and I guess we'll see as time goes on. But, you know, let's just go on with that. The first few things that I want to talk about, one thing actually kind of touches my heart a little bit here. Just a little bit, because growing up, you know, I was a big fan of Mythbusters. And I don't know if you guys have heard it or not, but Grant Imahara, no, don't run it. He's not going. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Or is there? We're having a technical difficulty. Say what? Good to go. No good. We're good on technical difficulties. You know, shit's going down right now in the background. Shit's going down in the background, baby. Well, then I'm going to move on. We'll come back to those later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into, I guess, some of the good stuff then. Wayfair, the Wayfair scandal that's going on. That's insane. If you're watching right now and you don't think that's insane, I don't know what you're thinking, because that's insane that a company would even be considered for something like what's taking place. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so when you really start looking at it, you know, you can always be like, you can always be a little bit conspiracy theorists, if that's the word. Conspiracy theorists. What? Okay, well, those technical difficulties are apparently kicking our ass a little bit. We'll toss it to break a little bit early, and then we'll figure it out in the break. We'll do that. But I'm going to keep going. So anyway, Wayfair. Crazy. Okay, so if you don't know what's going on, Wayfair has been caught up in this child sex trafficking scandal, or kidnapping, or whatever charges it is that I guess you would bring against somebody on this. But what they're saying is that they were selling furniture on their website, like shelves and cabinets and things like that, that had names of people who've been kidnapped, of children that have been kidnapped, and they were selling these, you know, regular-looking pieces of furniture for outlandish prices, $3,000, $4,000 for stuff, and somebody made the association to one of these girls' names and this piece of furniture, and they started connecting these dots, and it's looking very much like Wayfair is involved in something that seems pretty serious. They immediately went onto their website once this became public, and that connection was made. They went onto their website and they started removing those pieces of furniture and changing the names on them. And then somebody even released a video of, but I haven't seen this video yet. If you find the video, drop the link in the comments down below so that way everybody knows and can watch. But somebody said there was a video of one of the girls that was actually released saying that she wasn't kidnapped. But they said that, from what I read somebody's comments about it, they said that she was sitting on a bed and that in the background you can hear what sounds almost like chains whenever she moves underneath a blanket, because she's sitting on a bed. So I don't really know. If that's the case, that's crazy. If it's not the case, that's crazy for somebody to go to that extent to make that up. But I just have this feeling that maybe there might be some legitimacy to it, because of the fact of the whole thing taking place as it is. I mean, that's a lot of circumstantial things. Then there were some photos that came out of like where they have their trailers and stuff like that parked. Supposedly they keep furniture and all that in. I don't really know if there's been any connection to it. Some people are like, does this look like the place that a big $1 million, billion dollar company would keep their trailers? Because it's like down a dirt road, and they're just randomly parked in what looks like almost a field. Not really like a parking lot. But, I don't know really about that one. The fact that the company is involved in this kind of thing at all, which I guess companies get their names put in stuff all the time, but for these ties to be made, that's asinine. This is the kind of thing that shows that we need to be more investigative. We share memes and stuff all the time, but what are we really digging into? And I get blamed for sharing links all the time that might be outdated or something. We all do it to some degree. I try to look at most things. I don't investigate everything that is a conspiracy theory. And here's why. I'll go ahead and give you the spill on that. Many years ago, when I first started sharing conspiracy theory material, it was met with a lot of negative backlash. And it didn't matter what evidence you provided. People just always labeled you conspiracy theorists and left it at that. They wouldn't investigate further. They wouldn't even look at the information that you gave them. They would just say, you're crazy for looking all that up. So today, I find it much more effective and impactful especially given the climate of things and how everything's going, if I just share something. And, most of the time I won't even say my opinion on it, but every now and again I will. But if I just share it, then it leaves you to question. It leaves you to if you have the desire to look further, then you look further. But I think what we're finding more and more now is that the further people are looking, the more stuff they're actually finding that is painting these pictures of all these conspiracies that seem like they're coming true. And a lot of it's, if you're denying many of the things that are coming about today, you're really just kind of in denial. You're really just trying to either be argumentative or you're not open-minded to something being a truth outside of what your understanding of it may be. At least that's my opinion on it. Everyone has their reason for not believing something, I suppose. But I think if there's enough evidence, I think I'm going to go ahead and probably at least consider that as a possible truth. That's just me. It doesn't mean it has to change my perspective or my way of thinking of everything. But if the evidence is there, then why am I not going to consider that? So yeah, that's Wayfair. If you guys got any more information on that, let me know, because I really want to know more about that. I'm going to look into it further. But if you've got anything, right now that's pertinent to that situation, drop me some links, send them to my messenger. I don't care. Just get them to me somehow, because I would like to know more about it. We'll shift to the side here a little bit. Sports fans probably got a kick out of this one a little bit, I think. No more Washington Redskins. They're changing the name. They are changing the name because the name is supposedly offensive, or has been offensive to natives. The funny thing is, from what I was finding online, the majority of natives don't really care. They didn't care what the name was. And from what I could tell, if they did care, they didn't really care too much. The guy that designed the logo is part native, if I'm not mistaken. If I read that correctly, and I think that his son went in an interview and gave more words to that also, and said, when my father designed this, it was more or less something he was proud of, obviously. It was a logo for an NFL team. I don't know, if you got more info on that one, let me know that too. But I think personally that I feel like this is an attempt. This is one of those things where it's not too much, but it's just kind of the wrong timing. It started with Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben and all these foods and stuff like that, changing their logos for, honestly, it seems like to avoid being canceled is what it was, this whole cancel culture thing. Which apparently, it's funny, the cancel culture, Mr. Rush, I didn't even really know this cancel culture thing was a thing until probably a month or so ago. I never really heard about cancel culture. I think you were one of the first people that mentioned it to me. You were like, man, cancel culture, and you said something to me, and it was just like, cancel culture.
They canceling everything.
Everything. And everybody is what it sounds like. You know what I mean? And apparently that's all it takes. The question is, who gets to determine if you get canceled? Or is this like a majority thing? You know what I mean? Like, it just pops up one day, canceled. So-and-so been canceled. And it's just like, why? I don't understand. Like, who really gets to pick that? And even more so, who's determining how canceled they are? If I was an actor, for instance, and I made hundreds of millions of dollars doing movies, just because you say I'm canceled doesn't mean I'm not going to get a job somewhere. It doesn't mean I'm not going to get that next movie gig. Now, if that movie gig happens and the movie comes out and then, of course, it flops, then yeah, I'm probably not going to get any more gigs after that. I guess you got to find out the hard way. But who really makes that decision in the front? You know, I feel like this is a result of an entitled mindset and mind frame. You know what? If I don't like it, no more of it. That's nope, done, no more. That's just not how things work. It just isn't. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and move on from that because I don't know. But the Washington Redskins, though, they're not getting canceled. That's not what I was saying. They're changing their name. So, you know, I guess that's cool. I don't know what they're changing it to yet, though. You know, what would you name the Washington Redskins if you're going to call them something different? Should I even call them that now, or am I going to get canceled, do you think, for referring to them that way? Do you think people are going to be like, man, cancel this cat right here? Because he keeps on referring to him as that word. Like, how many of those words are there going to become because of this? You know what I mean? It just doesn't really make sense. I mean, to me, it don't make sense. What do you guys think about cancel culture? Drop your comments down below and let me know. We'll take a look at them, and I'll probably refer to them later. Maybe. Uh-oh, almost dropped my mic box here. Let's see what we got going on. I want to talk about that one now, but I'm going to wait because that one's there. Yeah, because that's a little bit. Ghislaine Maxwell. There's plenty to talk about with Ghislaine Maxwell going on. Yep, we're going to get to that one in a little bit. We still don't have any images, do we? Oh, because ain't that it? Well, I'll go ahead and talk about them. Okay, so Mythbusters, what I was mentioning earlier, Grant Imahara from Mythbusters passed away yesterday from a brain aneurysm. It was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Passed away from a brain aneurysm. And to me, that really sucks because I don't know if you guys watch Mythbusters. I don't really know who didn't watch Mythbusters, at least, you know, in my generation of people. I feel like they were very relatable people because they weren't trying to be famous. They were just trying to be themselves, doing the things that they love, which was making experiments and projects and things like that. So to me, it's sad that he passed away. I don't know if you guys remember who he is. We had the image, but we're not going to be able to show it right now. It's sad because this is an influential person. You know what I mean? And to me, I look at this and I'm like, I'm a little heartbroken because he was young. I think he was 47 years old. That's it. And he died from a brain aneurysm. You're talking about this guy was a genius in robotics. He's an engineer. You know what I mean? He builds things that do things that we look at and say, wow, that's awesome. Oh, I just got a lot of memories from watching that show. So it was like, dang, man, another one of them. Another one. You know what I mean? We're watching all these people from my generation that were, while I was teenager and younger or whatever, that were the adults that were doing things. They're all passing away now, man, and that's saddening. That's saddening. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm like, man, a little bit, you know, who's next? I don't really want to know who's next. You know, that sucks. Let's go ahead and toss it to break real quick. That way I can have a second to check out this technical difficulty and we can figure it out. He gives me, Mr. Rush.
Thumbs up.
Oh, all right, we're going to toss the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 1 minute. Make sure in the break that you are hitting that share button. Hit that like button for me. Go ahead and click the like button. If you're watching anyway, just click it. But make sure you hit share so other people can watch with you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Is ready for the next level of marketing. Having the right tools in hand can help catapult your business into the place it deserves to be. From custom commercials that are ready for broadcast to the professional voiceover that you need for your business phone recording or a radio commercial, we build it all in-house. Sign up with us today and see how all of our plans offer exactly the tools that you need. And more importantly, they don't break the budget you set for marketing. Call and visit us online at lookandlawton.com today. Let's get your business to the next level. lookandlawton.com. We cover all of the details. Wax, wash, and shine, your vehicle is guaranteed to come out shining. Let us pay attention to the detail. We're here to vacuum wash and deodorize your vehicle on a professional level. Don't leave it to the other guys to miss things. We see them all. Do you have a fleet of vehicles? We're equipped to take on all the vehicles your business has too. Keep your business vehicles looking the best they can. Stop by today and schedule with us or message us on Facebook. Full Throttle Detail, located at 1601 Northwest Sheridan Road in Lawton. we back? We're back. Yep, we made it. We made it to that break. It was a whole solid minute. Thank you guys for coming back and not going anywhere. Hopefully you hit the share button for me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move straight into this. I feel like I need to address this though. We weren't able to handle the technical difficulty. It was a screw up, and it was my screw up. I'm good for this. Most of the time when something goes wrong with the show, you can blame that on me because that's just how I'm good for that sometimes. Anyway, so check this out. Candace Valenzuela. Have you ever heard of her? Probably not. She is coming out of Texas. She is running for a seat in Congress. And she is the first Afro-Latina to be elected to Congress if she wins. And she's only the third Latin woman to be voted from Texas at all. So that's pretty cool. She won the 24th Congressional Democratic primary runoff the other day. So that's awesome. We do have a picture of her, but of course you can't see it because, I screwed that up. Oh, the picture's up. Hey, you see the picture? That's her right there. She's really pretty too. I'm not going to lie. Maybe that's unprofessional of me, but,
We're just talking.
We're just talking. Just chilling. Just talking. Anyway, it's cool that she's running. She's black and Mexican. I can't remember. I think it was her father's black, and her mother's Mexican. Mexican. Where does that sound like I'm from? Mexican. Mekskin. Mexican. Don't hate me for that. I'm just joking. Promise. But no, that's cool that she's running and that she looks like she might win. She'll be the first to do something like this, and that's a good sign for the direction that things are going. I believe she's a Democrat. Not that the party really matters to me, but if it matters to somebody else, you want to know that. There you go. But it's a good sign of where things are going because if she's the first Afro-Latina, the way that they're putting it, ever in the history of Congress, then that's a big deal. That's a big deal. I mean, it shows that we're bringing more people, and younger people at that too, because she's in her 30s, if I'm not mistaken. She might not be. She looks younger than that, if you ask me. I'm not trying to just be, sweet about that. She looks younger than 30 to me. But anyway, she's young, and she's different than what we've seen and had for the most part. So now we can see how these changes are starting to take place. We need to look at all the things that we're seeing take place today and how they're impacting things and keep this momentum for change, but not the wrong changes. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Walmart, Starbucks, Best Buy, pretty much all the big box stores is what it sounds like, are moving to mandatory masks for you to go into the store. So all the Karens that we've seen and Bobs and whoever else is throwing tantrums about having did you guys see the video of the older lady who literally sat on the floor talking about go get the manager then or whatever, and adult behavior has proven to be very childish in these times because I've seen more videos of people throwing tantrums about masks and than I've seen. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to compare that to. It's just super childish. It's just ridiculous. And I get it. We were having this debate earlier. Me and Mr. Chris were having this debate. And but it wasn't really a debate because we're on the same side of the argument, but I was trying to show him the point of arguing behind it that somebody may have because you're talking about people's freedoms and all that. That's a both sides are right kind of thing. So I think that ultimately the argument comes down to having to be about moral belief rather than and moral, not more, because I'm sure it sounded like I said more, moral belief than anything. Because it's either law or it's not law. It's pretty black and white. you guys for staying in there. I'm not sure what's going on. The computer's showing one thing, and it looks like we might actually be live. It should be about 15-second delay, so it'll be up there in a second. If you are watching, thank you guys for not going anywhere. That's your little time to go ahead and get your snacks and all that shit, right? What do they call that at the movie theater? No, concessions. Concessions. He said snacks. Yeah, all right. I guess we're live. We're just going to keep rolling with it. And then we'll stop it at the end. Good. I guess. We'll figure it out. Maybe it's just a software issue or something. I don't know. Is it still letting you... Well, I guess you don't really need to change anything either. All right. I'm going to just move on. And hopefully this goes right. So Walmart, Starbucks, Best Buy, all of them, they're all requiring face masks now. And a lot of cities are starting to mandate face masks. There is a governor, the governor of Georgia, Governor Kerr, said that he signed an executive order to stop cities from being able to mandate masks. So like the mayor of Savannah, Georgia, says that they're not going to do that. They're going to continue to have them mandated because they're the right decision, more or less, and it's a smart thing to do. My position personally on it is we need the masks. They're important. They serve their purpose. Until we as people know better what we're dealing with, it's protection. It's the perfect example. I think it was you that said it earlier, right, Mr. Chris? The seatbelt in the car. It's you wear your seatbelt, for the safety of yourself, but at the same time, like you obey speed limits and things because of the safety for others, right? So everybody has the tools that we're supposed to use. So I can understand us needing the mask. I don't understand, which I understand the mandate of the mask, but I don't necessarily agree with it. But it's this is where my issue comes in at. I can't pick which side of it I'm on, because part of me says, well, if everybody's not going to wear their mask and we know we need them, or we don't necessarily know that we don't need them, then yeah, mandate them. But at the same time, on the opposite end of it, I'm left torn because I'm like, I don't want to give up the freedom. Like anybody else doesn't want to give up the freedom to do what I feel like doing as I feel like doing it. Now, mind you, there are a lot of things that we're not allowed to just do, even if you feel like doing it. This could kind of fall in with those, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't. Because, it's like the example I used earlier was about your shoes. If somebody said, well, the shoes that you're wearing are wrong for the conditions outside, it can make things dangerous for other people as well as yourself, suddenly the same argument applies. And now you're losing the ability to represent yourself as you see fit. But I guess that kind of is different, though, in some aspects, the more that I say it out loud, because, in that regard, that's an expression of self, whereas the other one, the mask, is a means of protection. It's kind of like having well, no, because you don't have to carry a sidearm. So you see where the dilemma comes in at. Because on one hand, you may want to say,
you do have the right to wear or not wear it, but it's like you said, if you end up giving it to somebody and they die from it, that's involuntary manslaughter. You have the right to put yourself put yourself in danger if you want, but you don't have the right to endanger somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
You know what we're going to go ahead and do in a few minutes? We're going to toss it to break. And then we're going to go ahead and reset this camera so that we can get you in the shot. Because we're gonna go ahead and do this. So let me spend let me spend my next few minutes talking about some of my other points, and then we'll come back to that. Because well, here's the thing. This is where it's a debate, but it's not a debate. It's a debate because I'll obviously debate the side that is going to say that this is why I don't want to wear the mask. But yet at the same time, I'm in favor of the mask. I don't want any of my viewers to get that wrong. I don't want anybody watching to think that he doesn't want us wearing it. Yeah, I sure am. I'll wear the respirator wherever I'm at. I was trying to tell everybody about masks in January. So, you know what mask I got. I got the respirator with double filters on it. Yep, not playing. Trying to be safe. Got my kids those too. And I taught them to wear them earlier on when this whole thing was first breaking wind, because I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable when they were wearing them with the looks that they might get from people. So I think it was a smart decision, because now they put their mask on just fine and they don't care about the adults who look at them like, why are you wearing that? It's crazy how adults will look at children because of something like that, even just because they don't understand it. That's what this all boils down to. It all boils down to people not having a similar enough understanding to make decisions for everybody. But we'll get there. And maybe this little debate will help with some more of that. But because I'm not really going to debate to cancel the point that Chris will probably be on, which is in favor of the mask, because I'm also in favor of the mask. But I am going to make the other side make sense, if of why there's a concern. But maybe if we're all on the same page of it, or some similar understanding, we can all come together to figure out how we make the mandate work. Because if a mandate has to happen, it has to happen to save lives, right? But if, like Chris was saying and Mr. Rush was saying, they want to know more of what's in the paperwork. What's in the verbiage? What's the mandate specifically saying? Which, we can get copies of all that information and all that, but, beforehand, that's really a big concern. So I'm going to go ahead and move on real quick. We're going to save that one because I'm going to come back to that. I am going to talk about that Ghislaine Maxwell in a few minutes when we come back. That's something we'll discuss also. All right. There was a new statue. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. If you haven't, you really should. All of the statues that have been being removed, there's only one I've heard about so far that's been replaced with something else. And I think this is a great idea, and really this is the change that we need to see from all these statues that have been removed all over the world, apparently, is something put in place of them that makes it where we don't forget about history, because we need to remember the history, but it also shows a time of transformation. Some new statue to show a new point in history, a new mark of history. So the statue was replaced in Colston. The statue was made by Edward Colston in the United Kingdom, and it's of a woman whose name is Jen Reed. She's doing the Black Power salute, which is the fist, right? And the guy decided to make this statue after he was shown a photo from this woman when she was at one of these protests after the original statue had been taken down. She climbed up onto I'm going to call it a podium thing. It's got a name for it. I can't remember what it was. But the base of the statue where it was at, and she stood there and she did that, and a bunch of photos were taken of her. Well, this guy saw this photo and he decided that he wanted to make a statue of her. So he got in contact with her and he made this statue. Is the picture up right now? Yep, picture's up. You guys see the statue? He made the statue, and he named it A Surge of Power 2020. And I think that it's great. If you could see the statue, are you watching? You see it? If you see a statue, it's a powerful statue. That's a powerful statue. And that's a statue like no other statue in the world, I think. I don't think I've ever seen a statue that resembles or symbolizes the same thing that statue does. That's huge. That's huge. And not necessarily because of the person in it, but because of what it stands for. I wish I had the comparison pictures of her next to the statue, and you could see that it's almost spitting image, identical. Like the dude did a great job. The crazy part about statues today, though, is like they used to be made out of bronze and brass and, like very hard to work with metals and things like that, or stone. I can't remember what he said this one is made out of, but I got to be honest, it kind of looks like, I'm not going to go there because I feel like I'm going to disrespect his artwork. His work is great. I just wish I knew more about what his medium was, but that's just me as an artist. You know what I'm saying? That's just me as an artist. I just want to, just want to know. Okay, we're going to take another break real quick and then get some things switched around real fast. Don't go anywhere. While we're gone, make sure you hit that share button and hit that like button and drop any of your opinions about anything we're talking about right now, so that way I can get back to you on it. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute.
Just for canines and kitty too. We have all of the best items for your cat, dog, pup, or kitten in stock. From pet beds to toys, we have everything you can think of. We carry the best selection of pet hygiene products and a huge selection of cat and dog foods. Spoil your pet by letting us give them the full treatment from massage to complete bath and grooming. We also offer our mobile grooming services. Be sure to stop in today or give us a call. Just for canines and kitty too, your pet's favorite place to go. Your small business is ready for the next level of marketing. Having the right tools in hand can help catapult your business into the place it deserves to be. From custom commercials that are ready for broadcast to the professional voiceover that you need for your business phone recording or radio commercial, we build it all in-house. Sign up with us today and see how all of our plans offer exactly the tools that you need. And more importantly, they don't break the budget you set for marketing. Call and visit us online at lookinlawton.com today. Let's get your business to the next level. lookinlawton.com. We cover all of the details. Wax, wash, and shine, your vehicle is guaranteed to come out shining. Let us pay attention to the detail. We're here to vacuum, wash, and deodorize your vehicle on a professional level. Don't leave it to the other guys to miss things. We see them all. Do you have a fleet of vehicles? We're equipped to take on all the vehicles your business has too. Keep your business vehicles looking the best they can. Stop by today and schedule with us or message us on Facebook. Full Throttle Detail, located at 1601 Northwest Sheridan Road in Lawton.
And we're on. There we go.
And we're back.
Was he talking when he could when the open was coming? It was. All right. That's okay. That's all right. You know, it just means we're eager. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for coming back. After that last break, you know, we got a cool, solid, I guess it's not a solid 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes left. So we're going to talk about a couple things. First thing I want to talk about, though, first thing I got to do is introduce Mr. Chris. Chris, how you doing, sir?
This is, you see me, I was behind the scenes today, and I made the mistake of inputting inputs.
He made the mistake of just talking.
So now I'm in front of the camera again. But yes, let's get to it.
That's about how it goes. Thank you for joining me, sir. All right,
Thank you for having me.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so here's the deal with Ghislaine Maxwell. We're gonna get to that other topic in a minute, but I got to talk about this first. So first, she was denied bail by a judge, and the judge is possibly going to release a list of names that were, I believe, on the flight log to Jeffrey Epstein's place. I said it right? Mm-hmm. Epstein, that's right. I hope he does. I really hope he does. This whole thing needs to be blown wide open, and if they're on that list, they need to explain their doings with this person or whatever. You know, an investigation really needs to take place, because her attorney's trying to get her off of it and trying to say she's a victim in all this because it's a smear campaign, which obviously I think everybody can tell that it's not, at least to the best of what my judgment tells me. And you know, I like to think that I'm a good judge of character, and from all the information I've ever heard about her, it's been pretty bad. I don't know what good things she's done. but probably none when you look at all the bad shit she's done and been a part of, most likely. The other thing about her is she has supposedly footage of 2 well-known politicians having sex with children. My question is, why are we not hearing who these politicians are? Is it because the investigation taking place, or is it because of some sort of corrupt matter? Like, what's really going on that they're not releasing the names of these politicians? That they're not saying that there's any charges, they've said nothing. They've just released that she might have footage of 2 politicians who are very well known having sex with children. That's something that needs to be investigated. It absolutely should be investigated. Anybody who doesn't see what's going on right now with politics and Hollywood and all these different things that are showing themselves, I feel like you're just in denial about stuff. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to look at my country and be like, damn, all the good things that we used to think about our country, with the exception of probably the politicians, are turning out to be some very secretive shit. I don't want to feel like that. But if it's the truth, I'd rather know it than keep going on and pretend like it's not. I mean, so if you've heard what's going on with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, you know that this is like Murder Island kind of shit. Like they were kidnapping kids or trafficking kids. I'll say that. I'm not going to go so far as to say kidnapping because they haven't said that mainstream yet, because there's no telling how they're getting these children. Apparently it was recruiting methods and shit. At least according to the documentary on Netflix. If you watch that, then you'll learn a lot about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And yeah. But they were torturing these children. It was more than just sex going on at these places. They were torturing these children. I saw a photo the other day online that was of Jeffrey Epstein and a young black child that looked to be tied to the ground somehow, strapped to the ground. And I couldn't exactly tell what he was doing, but it almost looked like maybe he was burning them with something. Like, it almost looked like a lighter. Like, you know how when you lean to burn something with to light a firecracker, kind of keep that space and lean? That's kind of how he was leaning towards this person. And it looked like him. And it looked like a real image. I deal with Photoshop a lot and all that, so I like to think, now I have been fooled a number of times. There are some really good works out there, but I like to think that I can pretty much look at the majority of things people do and determine if it's fake or not. If this was not fake, or if this was fake, they did a really, really, really good job at making it look real. Yeah, looked pretty bad. What do you think? Have you heard anything about this, Chris?
Yes, I've heard. To go back on what you were saying, the first thing I want to touch on is the fact that how you said it should be blown out, it should be a thorough investigation, but I feel like it should be judgment with like extreme prejudice. The book should be thrown. And the first thing you said that really was a red flag to me is how she had footage of politicians having sex with the children, but that didn't come out until her ass was on the hot seat.
Right.
She should get another charge for that. You have footage really of child pornography, but you have evidence of a crime, multiple crimes made by government officials that you had. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what is it?
And they kept it for blackmail.
What is it called when you keep evidence away from obstruction of justice? You know, and like I said, it only came out because your ass got thrown on a hot seat and you're trying to throw somebody else under the bus to clear yourself. I feel like she should get charged for that also on top of it.
I feel like there's 10 million different charges.
I feel everybody should just be getting everybody should just be getting life, really. Like,
you know, the
I don't
reason
care if you had any part of it, like you should be judged to the max.
Yeah, to the max. And you know,
max.
I want to say it was almost a month ago now, there was a law that they were looking to pass. And it was on one of the days we had our show too. I never heard anything else about it after that, so I don't know if it went through or not. But they're looking to punish people who have had any kind of crimes involving children with regards to like pedophilia. They're talking about giving them life sentences. Like, they have the option to give them life sentence for it, regardless of the extent of it, which I agree with that too.
I agree.
The judge that denied her bail because he felt she was a flight risk, because she has French citizenship. And if you are a citizen of France, they won't extradite you.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So they're worried that if she's released, she's going to fly and be gone. And then
she
then
more
what?
likely will be.
And the crazy thing is that I wouldn't doubt if that was probably a part of her plan this whole time. You know what I mean? I bet the COVID stuff is really what put a hindrance on it. And really, I read something in the very beginning of all this COVID thing when they were saying that they released it on purpose and da-da-da-da, all these different things, which I still don't necessarily not believe. They said that this was done deliberately to catch all of these celebrities. Like, I'm talking in the very beginning, bro, when COVID first hit the news here.
Yeah, a lot of things were brought to light.
Yep. There
Not
was a lot that they said.
before this
They said there's over
episode.
600 arrests that they're looking to make in the next year from the time February hit at least to by the end of the year. They're saying there's 600 between celebrities and politicians that they're trying to arrest. And that's the reason that they're pushing so hard for quarantines and things like that, because there's less movement of people. And the less movement there is, the easier it is to catch people. And when you start doing things like you can't fly here, you can't fly there, you can't fly out of the country, then what happens? Well, now all these people are stuck where they're stuck at. Mm-hmm. The tough part is that if that's true, then I mean that's a hell of an opportunity to take. You know, this virus breaks out, and then you have the opportunities to arrest all these people with evidence, if they have evidence. They should do it. But if they, you know, if that's not what it is, then that's a hell of a rumor to be spreading around. But given that a lot of things seem to be kind of lining up with it, it's kind of hard to say. You know, it's really in the air. You don't really. What I think though is that back to Ghislaine Maxwell, if she has evidence of anybody doing anything, they should automatically be put on blast in a way that, you know, and I don't mean like, oh, just release their name so they can run. Place them under arrest. You have evidence to arrest them on.
We should have been hearing about a trial already in that fashion. As soon as they had irrefutable evidence, if she does actually have that, if you have irrefutable evidence, that should have went straight to the Supreme. Like, it should be going right now. You know what I'm saying? We should have found out about it as it was happening. You know, not found out. Oh, she. They're saying she might have evidence, because I'm pretty sure she does. You know
yeah, of course she does. She wasn't gonna do some shit like that
but
for
we
that
shouldn't
many
be
years.
we shouldn't be finding it out from hearsay. You know what I'm saying? We should be finding it out because there's a trial happening next week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And exactly. But see, and you know what's crazy about her situation is that when she first got arrested and they picked her up, the reports going out were she was going to work with the FBI. She was going to release names. Maybe a week and a half or so later, she starts talking about how her attorney releases this statement saying that this is a smear campaign against her. She's got nothing to do with it. She hasn't talked to Jeffrey Epstein in 10 years from this point, at least prior. But one of the accusers has evidence, apparently, of email exchanges between her and Epstein. So she was in contact with him. So that's already a lie right there. You know what I mean? Which is probably why the judge ruled it as he did to cancel her bail, you know, or not give her bail.
oh yeah, but you're faulty.
You know,
You snaky.
and everybody's saying the same thing. I don't see her living through this. I don't see her living through the end of a trial. You know,
no, she's about to give us some names, bro. Like, she's about.
her best bet would be give up names. I can tell you right now. If
No,
she
but
didn't give up names,
that's why she won't live through the trial. Like, she's giving up government officials, bro.
Yeah.
She's giving up. It's.
Man, we already know who some of the people are. I mean, if we do enough digging and things like that, you can find things that tie people to all of this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You know, talking about investigations and politicians and all that stuff, I don't understand, and I'm not going to say too much about this, and I'm not even going to say their name for the sake of safety, but if I was a politician and 120 people I knew who were all involved one way or another in trying to have me investigated for something, all committed suicide, I would wonder why people didn't question me and look into my whereabouts and who I knew and how I was affiliated, and the fact that these things took place. 120. It's a lot of suicides.
At the point in time, the coincidence is out of the question.
If you're wondering who that is, go look it up. I'm
look
not
up
going
what
to say
he
to you,
said.
I'm not about to be on that list. If I can help it. Not if I can help it.
I know nothing about nothing. I haven't looked up any officials, anybody in power. Are we still?
Yeah, you still on.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Let me go on record by saying I know nothing other than what I'm told, but that's all hearsay, you know, and I don't gossip. So, yeah.
What do you think about the Wayfair thing? Do you know, I saw this image that,
Face mask.
That's what I.
face mask.
That's
Okay.
what he brought me on here for.
That is what I brought you for. Okay,
I was supposed to be on
so
here for a
face
little
mask.
15-minute
Here we go.
segment.
Here we go. We got a solid 15 minutes. Okay,
It's
so
gonna take the whole
first,
15
I'm in
minutes
favor
to-
of face masks, but I do understand the side of face masks that I don't want them to be mandated. I think that it should all be done by choice, but if it comes down to it and it needs to be mandated for everyone's safety, then ultimately I'm in favor of that. However, I am hesitant and reluctant to just side with that because I don't like the idea of giving up the personal freedoms that I have and my decision to come and go as I please in ways that I see fit. I wouldn't again drink and drive. I haven't made those mistakes before, but I wouldn't again drink and drive understanding the safety involved in it.
Sorry to cut you off, but since that day, he has not touched not a piece
Not a
of an
single drip.
alcohol, bro.
Not a
at all.
drop,
And
not a
I'm
drip.
proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he was an alcoholic, it was a problem, but it was
a
growing
problem
to
enough.
be. It was growing to be, and he made the decision to never fuck with it again, and he has not fucked with it again. That's something that's really. It's cool to see that happen. You know, having seen so many people fall victim to addiction and relapsing and things like that. To see somebody who has overcome that and is not looking back, like that's fucking awesome, especially because it's one of my closest friends. So, yeah.
I appreciate that.
And he's not
Thank
going
you,
to get on
sir. I
here and
appreciate
brag
that.
and tell you that.
Nah.
So I will.
That's
Anyway,
what's up, man. I
let's go.
appreciate that. That's
Keep
the
going.
shit. Thank you for those words, man. So the mask, I don't think we should just be like, okay, mandate them. We have to know what's in the verbiage. We got to know, because if we don't know what's in the verbiage, then you're just giving up more freedom than you realize you're giving up. So
I agree with that.
So I don't
If
think
the
that
mandate
necessarily it
is
should be
only
mandated.
if it's
Certain
there's no
situations.
other bill or any other there's no fine print. If it's just about the mask, I can agree with that because like we were discussing earlier, certain situations and time frames in this country, they can override some rights that are given to us that are written in the Constitution. If it's a direct threat to, and this is a direct threat to the humanity, mankind, period, globally, but in our country especially. And yes, it shouldn't even have to go to a point where it has to be mandated because we should have a choice and everybody should just choose to. Period, bro. This is
It comes down to morals.
This is
It
a
comes down to you
it's a
deciding.
life-threatening virus. Why wouldn't you want to?
Well, and that comes down to a lot of the media though, because like there's two sides of the coin. You
but
know what I
fuck
mean?
the
You
media.
got-
Grown-ass people should be able to make a decision for themselves and just a logical decision. Wearing a mask cuts down the likelihood of it being passed dramatically. Why wouldn't
Some
you?
people don't even believe that it's real though, and so that's why they don't want to give up the rights because with their disbelief in that it's even real, they're looking at it like you're just telling me to let you control me in different ways.
I feel what you're
You see
saying,
what I'm saying?
but shit, you not believing it's real, and we actually know for a fact that it is. I'm talking about as far as like the government officials, the people who would know whether it's real or not. If it actually is real and they know this for a fact, somebody believing it's real it's not good enough. Because my biggest argument, or not argument, but my biggest retort to that is yes, I understand it is giving up rights. It is a right being taken from you, but if you are a direct threat, like I said earlier, you have the right to wear what you want and hinder yourself. But if you could potentially be giving this life-threatening virus to somebody, you don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to choose whether you put somebody else's life at risk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if somebody doesn't believe that they're putting somebody's life,
It doesn't matter what you believe. If it's true, if the government knows that this virus for a fact is real, it doesn't matter if you don't believe that it's real. Like, it's real.
Well, I mean,
It doesn't
what do you say to
matter.
The people who believe the president, who was saying that it was a hoax for half the time it's been around.
Oh, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
See, so it comes
I
down.
don't- I
that's
don't know,
really
but I'm
where
talking about
debate
the
is at,
officials that
because
really know.
You're wanting people to give up freedom, right?
No, I don't want you to get up freedom. Like, and that's
But you are
that's the
giving
thing
up
right
freedom when
there.
you mandate
That's the thing right there. That shouldn't even be looked at, bro. Like, it's for the safety of others, and it's not a.
But that's
it's
where it
not
starts,
a right.
though. Think about
we
this.
We can't say that it's going to snowball into something else. You can't.
But look at the history of the
It
government
doesn't
and laws
matter.
like that.
We don't know for a fact. I'm just talking.
No, I think we have enough evidence. Look at
We can. We can.
Think about the
I'm
Twin
not
Towers in
disagreeing.
9/11,
You can.
okay?
You can by the history of the United States
pretty much know that there's going to be something else added into this.
Exactly. So
But-
why would you want to even give that much of your leverage up?
No,
when
I'm
it's
not
your
saying
friends?
give that much of it. We're just talking specifically about face masks. I'm not talking about.
But
if-
that's
if-
where it
if
starts,
we're-
though. Think about it. You don't even get the right to uncover your face when you want now. Now you have to
Bro,
wear this
but
thing, right?
That's the thing. That right in my eyes, if you're not going to take upon yourself to protect others and protect yourself, yes, I would take that right from you, bro. Because you could potentially be like,
But what about the next
you're a
thing,
throat
though?
to killing. That. Fuck the
What
next
if
thing.
they
We're not
say,
talking
look,
about the next
face
thing. We're
mask
talking
is
about face
working a
masks.
little bit, but it's still spreading. We need everybody to start wearing gloves mandated. You gonna start wearing gloves all the time?
Bro,
What if they say now the gloves are working and we're seeing the numbers drop, but man, they're still growing too fast. We need everybody to wear a particular kind of shoe cover. And before you know it, you know what? You can't go outside without a hazmat suit because the risk is too high. But yet you don't see everybody outside with hazmat suits. But yet it becomes mandated. And so
That-
now you can be punished if you aren't
yes,
outside
I
with a
understand.
hazmat
I
suit.
get that part.
Do you see what I'm saying? But it
It
escalates
could-
from one thing
it
into the
could
next. into the
escalate
next.
to that, but it's not. That's not what we're talking about now.
Well, of course you
We're
can't
just
talk
talking
about what the
face
unknown
masks.
is.
Okay, we can't talk about the unknown.
can't talk about
We're
the
talking
unknown.
about face masks.
But you can talk about
No,
evidence
we're
of a
just
past.
talking about face masks. We're not. There's no other variables in it. We're talking specifically about face masks because there's a lot of.
But
what
there are
ifs.
variables, though. Just because you say face mask doesn't mean that the only thing associated to face mask
No,
is face mask.
but that's
face mask
just
cover a person,
what
and a
we're
person
talking
is-
about. I'm not talking about anything else other than face masks. I'm talking about specifically face masks. Not what they could do, not what they might do, not what they've done in the past. Face masks. This is a good. It's. I don't view it as a violation of rights because it is actually for protection of the United States. They start doing extra shit on top of that. That's a whole nother. That's different. I'm just talking about specific face masks. I agree with that because us as a country, we are too stubborn and ignorant to do something like make the decision to fucking wear a face mask.
I agree with that entirely.
And the government has to step in and tell us we have to.
Yes,
and then we get upset
I agree
about
with
it.
that.
Like that's fucking
That's our own
childish.
fault.
That is childish as fuck. We should have already made this. We should have took it out of the government's hands.
And it never
We
really
use
should
our
have been
rights
in their hands when it came to the decision.
Well, hey, if it's
But
if
that
it's
again
a threat
comes
to
down
society,
morals.
if it's a threat to humanity, you know what I'm saying? If this
Comes
this
down
could
to
potentially
morals.
kill a good amount of people.
Some people don't care, though. Think about this.
But it doesn't matter if they don't care. Like that's what I'm saying. Just because you don't care doesn't mean you have the right to threaten somebody else's life. You
but
cannot care
that's
and
what I
not
was saying
believe it.
earlier. It's an argument on both sides. It's like it's both things
It's
at
not,
the same time
you, you cannot care. You could having AIDS. You can see that you have lesions and everything like that, but you didn't go get tested. But you don't believe that you got AIDS. But you went out and fucked all these people and gave them AIDS. But you really, you know what I'm saying? It's, bro, like you can't. That's not your
two
right
sides
to
of the fence.
No, you will never have a right. That's never been a right to where you can put somebody's life in danger. They've never written that in
But
any
think about this.
constitution.
But look, putting somebody's life in danger typically comes with a definition. Okay, putting somebody's life in danger isn't I walk outside of my house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
if they started trying to tell you can't leave your house, that's something else. But like I said, I'm not talking about any other laws they may pass or any bills that they might try to do. I'm just talking specifically about face masks. Because when we start adding all that extra shit in, we can go all day. And that's when I will start agreeing with, no, that's too much.
But that's where it goes. The moment you step off your property, though, that's exactly where it's at from the get-go. The
Face
moment
mask.
you walk off your property,
Okay,
you're on city property that's
Okay,
shared
wear
property
your
with
face
other
mask.
people. So technically,
wear
you could be
your face
putting
mask.
anybody at risk, right? I agree that people should wear their face mask by choice.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree that they should be mandated. I do understand
I
why
do
they could end up being mandated.
until we actually have something that can battle this virus,
We got to use the tools we got.
keep.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't
And
disagree with that.
And if people don't want to choose, like I said, because this is a pandemic, it's threatening to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like this, if it's not controlled, it could get really out of hand. And I mean, if we think about what can happen, bro, we could be on the verge of extinction at the end of this motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's that serious.
I mean, it is that serious.
It's that serious. So in certain situations, especially in the United States, when we go to war or something like that, certain situations they can step in. And like I said, that a face mask is for the greater good to me. So I'm not viewing it as them taking my rights. Yes, I know other shit could happen, but this right here specifically, a face mask, is for the greater good.
In the end, what it really
and if you
boils
don't, it
down
could
to,
potentially kill a lot of people, bro. Like bro, if the government steps
I would hate
in
that on
and-
my conscience to know that I got somebody sick, and and even especially if I was carrying it and I didn't
Bro,
get sick.
and think
I would
about
hate
if the
the
government
feeling
doesn't
of
do that and then allows people to still run around like this, and it actually does hit and spread, and a shitload of people, more like triple, quadruple
Well,
times
our
how many
numbers
have died.
You know
Hold
our
on, let me
numbers are
finish real
today.
quick.
Here?
Think about if they don't mandate it and then all those people die. You said you didn't want that on your conscience. That's blood on their hands, bro, because they didn't.
Some people don't care though.
It doesn't matter if
No,
you care.
I feel you.
You
I
care.
get you.
Just because
It's
you
a
don't care about
conscious
something
thing.
doesn't mean you don't have to follow the law. Doesn't mean
It's a morals it's about the person's moral foundations. Because when you really care about yourself and you have concern for your well-being, then that naturally extends to other people.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
that's
But
morally.
not everybody
It's morally
feels that
for us
way, so
individually to make the choice to do it. But no, this is an actual threat. Like it's a threat to. It's a threat to.
So how do you enforce it? That's the question that the governments are running into. Is they're saying, how do you enforce a mandate like that? Do you put people in jail? Do you give them a fine?
Well, what I
is it
heard
that
in the
you do?
beginning, what I heard the first time I heard them talking about it, they was talking about it was the first it was a small fine, and then they increased the fine, and they increased the fine the third time, and then after that
You get jail?
Yeah, you get jail time.
But how do they track that? We got about 3 minutes left. We're going to start.
How do they
wrapping
track
up.
it? It's the same way they track anything else. Like once you get a fine, you get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? That's recorded. It's
But
documented.
when I get my first ticket for something, for an offense, the second one, I guess they pull it up. But I guess you'd end up with a record for not wearing a mask. That's crazy.
Then why not just wear the fucking mask? Like that's what I'm saying. It's the fact
you don't want to.
even we're sitting
You know
here
what I'm
because we agree. We both agree you should wear the mask. It's
Yes.
the fact of. But the fact that this is an issue just shows the problem in our country, bro. Like that's an issue.
Yep.
This being an issue, the fact that the government is contemplating stepping in and making people wear masks, that's an
No,
issue.
they're not contemplating. They're doing.
Oh, well, the fact that has to happen, that's an issue. Because like I said, it shouldn't even have been in their hands. We should have already been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
We,
I don't disagree. Hopefully you guys agree. If
that's
you
the
don't
United
agree,
States, man.
let me know down in the comments
Freedom.
below, and let me know why you don't
when
agree.
you're free.
Not to cut you off.
I'm sorry, I know.
We got to wrap it up,
Yeah.
though. We're down to the last couple minutes. Thank
Told
you
you it
guys
was gonna take
for
the whole 15
watching.
minutes.
Make sure y'all search for us on YouTube if you missed any of the older episodes. That's search for Just Talking with Jonathan Lewis. You'll find us there. Subscribe to that channel. Hit the bell so you know whenever we upload new videos. And then make sure that you hit the little notification button down below here on this live chat thread on Facebook so you know whenever we go live every time we do. And you
Did
can
you say
catch
subscribe?
the show then. So what?
Did you say subscribe to?
Yeah, on YouTube? Sure
Yeah,
did.
okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment.
Hit like right now. Like. One of them at the bottom. Tap, tap, tap. And then hit share at least one time for me. Make sure you guys catch us next week on Thursday. Chris, thank you for joining me.
Thank you
And
for having
Mr. Rush, I almost screwed it up at the end and almost called you Mr. Daniel. Thank you, sir.
What's the point?
I mean,
At the
it's-
end? What's the point? I don't know. But you know what? We got more to talk about next week. So don't go anywhere or go somewhere and then come back in a week from now. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Stay cool.
Whew.